Hey there, Lily. How are things going over there? I just wanted to text you and ask how the preparation for the move is going.
Oh, well, if it isn't my big sister Rachel. Thanks for asking after us. We're just about done with things over here. We have the whole house packed and cleaned up. Now we're just trying to make sure we keep it cleaned up until we go, and then that's that.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you all have been really busy with all of that. And what about Sam's parents' house? Are you nervous about moving in with your in-laws? Are there any problems you see coming up from you being there?
Well, I think that we've barely even started sending our stuff over there to their house, so it's still just a bit too early to tell.
Oh, right. I guess that's so. But you're going to be moving there so soon. I mean, haven't you already started sleeping at that house?
Yeah, I mean, we've already kind of been half moved over there for a while now. But anyways, I think it should go well. After all, Sam is a really nice guy, and I never had any problems with his parents at all while we were dating.
Oh, well, that's good to hear at least. I guess now you just need to be sure to keep on your best behavior while you're over there.
Oh, trust me, I don't need you to tell me that.
Well, are you really sure that everything is going to be okay with them? I just want you to know that you can always reach out to me if you need any help with anything.
Rachel, I really think this is going to be fine, but I do appreciate you worrying about me. Although, you do know that sometimes you have a tendency to just worry too much.
Well, sure, I know that. But my little sister is married and is going to be moving in with her husband's family. Can you really blame me for just being a little bit nervous about how that's all going to go?
I guess I see what you mean, but I really do think that things are going to be just fine. Thank you. Besides, Sam told me that his parents are really looking forward to having us live with them. And I already know a bit about how they like to run their house, so I should be able to adjust to whatever they want right away, more or less. And I'm actually really happy that they've been so welcoming in opening their house to Sam and I, you know? So I just want you to know that I really don't think there's all that much to worry about.
Well, okay then. You sound really sure about this, which is a good sign. But I just want you to know that you can always come to me if you need any kind of help or support with this. You know that, right? I just know that you have a tendency to keep things bottled up until you're just about ready to explode.
Well, you certainly got me there. I can't argue with that assessment. In that case, you can just wait on standby, and I'll make sure to do my best that things go smoothly with Sam and his parents, okay? If anything, you telling me how worried you are about things is just going to make me more nervous about moving in with them.
Well, I'm sorry. I really didn't mean to make you feel that way. I just want to make sure you're ready for all of this.
Well, I think it's going to be fine. Actually, I'm here with Sam, and he wants to message you for a bit, if that's okay.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess that's fine. I don't have any kind of problem with that.
Okay then, I'm going to be putting him on the phone now, so you'll be texting Sam until he says otherwise.
Hey there, Rachel. How's it going? It's been a while, yeah?
Hey there, Sam. Yes, it has been a while since the two of us got to talk last. I'm sorry to be messaging my sister like this when I know the two of you are so busy getting ready for your move right now.
No, there's nothing to worry about at all. I'm sure you must be pretty nervous about whether or not this movie's gonna go well for Lily, right? After all, I already know all about how you were the one who practically raised Lily by yourself. I understand why you're feeling the way that you are. And so, I just wanted to take this chance to apologize for asking Lily to move in with my parents so soon after her and I got married. I know this must all seem a bit sudden.
Well, yes. But as long as you take care of my little sister, I don't see any kind of problems arising from this. Anyways, I guess I also just needed to get these concerns off of my chest, or else they would be bugging me forever, you know?
Oh, trust me. I understand completely. So I'm glad that you and your sister were able to talk. And I want to promise you here and now that I will make sure Lily is taken care of. Okay?
Thank you so much for telling me that, Sam. That really does mean a lot to me. And please, Tell your parents hello for me, and that I'm grateful that they've been so welcoming to Lily.
Oh, please. My parents are more than happy to have Lily and I moving in with them. They really are excited about all of this. Actually, the thing is that my parents are in a bit of need of nursing, especially my dad, but my mom's knees aren't great either. So we're actually all so grateful for Lily moving in with us, knowing that the situation is what it is.
That's right. I think the last time I saw your dad, he was walking with a cane, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was from about 3 years ago. He had a small brain hemorrhage, and ever since then he hasn't been able to walk without using a cane. And really, if he doesn't have someone to take care of him at home, he just can't really function how he ought to.
I see. I'm so sorry to hear that. I didn't realize that the situation was that severe.
Yeah, unfortunately it really has gotten that bad. So having Lily around the house to help is going to be huge for him. And my parents are just so grateful that she's agreed to come and live with them. They really tell me all the time that I found a good one. And I guess I'm just glad that Lily understands how important family is to me.
Well, that is good to hear. And knowing that your parents are so excited to have Lily makes me feel much better about the situation. So anyways, I just hope that everyone can get along together over there.
Of course we're all going to get along. I don't think there's anything to worry about at all.
I know, but I know that Lily thinks it can be a bit embarrassing sometimes. But I just can't help feeling nervous, you know? But as I'm sure Lily has told you, I am a bit of a worrywart.
I understand that. But I just want to let you know that I think Lily is a very capable person, and I think she's going to be just fine. I really think that things are going to go well for us here. Especially my mom. She's really looking forward to having Lily here. I'm actually jealous of how well the two of them get along.
Are they really that good of friends? Well, that's good to know at least.
Oh yes, they're basically as thick as thieves. I really think that my mom likes your sister. Not only that, but I also want you to know that I'm going to be there to make sure that Lily is okay. I know that taking care of my parents isn't going to be easy work. But I promise you here and now that I'm going to try and make sure that your sister is safe and as happy as can be.
Thank you so much, Sam. You really don't know how much I needed to hear that. I really am glad that all of the people in the world, my sister ended up with a guy like you. Okay then, I guess we'll talk again later when you're all settled in. Hope the rest of the move goes well. Hey there, Sam. How's it going? It's been a while since the two of us last got to talk.
Oh, hey there, Rachel. Yeah, long time no talk. What's this about?
Well, the thing is that I've actually been trying to get in contact with Lily, but she hasn't been answering me. So I just wanted to try and reach out to you to ask if you knew what was going on with her.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, Lily actually has been really busy lately. So if I had to give you a reason, I guess that would be why she hasn't been getting back to you as much lately.
I see. I didn't know she was so busy. Do you know what it is that's keeping her so preoccupied?
Yeah, well, she just started a part-time job, and I guess they are keeping her really busy with training and that kind of thing.
Oh wow, I didn't know that she had started a new job at all. That sounds exciting for her.
Yeah, and she's still helping my parents with the nursing and all of that. So I guess by the time the end of the day rolls around, she's probably just really tired and doesn't have the energy to text or talk to anyone.
I see. Well, that sounds kind of rough for her, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to tell her that she didn't need to go out and find a job or anything like that. I told her that she was probably busy enough with my parents and taking care of the house. But she insisted on working, and so I guess that's what's been going on around here. I am really sorry that she hasn't been staying in touch with you though lately, Rachel.
Well, if it's something that Lily said that she wanted to do, then I guess there really isn't anything to worry about at all. I'm sure that just being a housewife was plenty though for her. She probably just wanted to get out of the house more.
Well, if you don't think it's anything to worry, then I guess that's good at least.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you figured it out by now, but Lily can be a bit headstrong. She'll always pursue something that she wants, so you just have to remind her not to push herself too much. And also tell her to get back to me when she has a moment to. Tell her that her older sister is worried for her.
I'll be sure and do that, Rachel. Although, like you said, there really is nothing to worry about, right? After all, Lily is a really smart, capable girl, and I really don't think she's someone you need to worry about that much. If anything, it might be good to give her a little more space now and then, don't you think?
You think so? You might be right about that, I suppose.
I mean, I just think that she's independent enough that it might do her some good. After all, she's already married and living with my family now. And if I can be honest, all this worrying seems to imply to me that you don't trust my family to take care of Lily.
No, I'm really sorry, Sam. You're right. I really wasn't trying to insult you or your family at all with this. I just can't help but be nervous for her. I hope you can understand. But you're right. I should have been more considerate towards your family, too. I'll be sure to be more careful about that in the future, okay?
I'm really sorry, but please do. I mean, if I can be honest with you again, I think one reason why Lily hasn't been getting back to you is because she wants to live her own life and not be told what to do by you. I know that you mean well, but you have to have faith that Lily is able to take care of herself, right?
You're so right. What was I thinking messaging her so frequently? I'll try and reach out even less from now on. And I guess you don't have to worry about telling Lily to get back to me.
Great. Thank you so much. I'm sure that she'll get back to you when things settle down around here. You just have to be patient with her, okay?
Right. Patient. I can be that. I'm really sorry for being so annoying with all of this. Well, I guess you already know how much of a worrier that I am. But anyways, I guess we'll talk later.
Rachel, are you there? I am so sorry for taking so long to finally get back to you.
Oh my gosh, Lily. It's been way too long since I last heard from you. I heard from Sam that you've been really busy doing all kinds of things over there.
Yeah, I really have been. And that's why I haven't been able to talk to you at all.
Oh, you don't need to worry about that. I'm just so happy to hear from you now. So how are you doing? You're not pushing yourself too much, are you? Have things settled down a little since you've arrived?
Not as much as you might think, actually.
Oh, really? So then, does that mean that you're still really busy even now?
Yeah, pretty much. I feel like I'm basically never caught up on all the things that I have to do in a single day.
And I've heard that you even started working a part-time job on top of everything else that you have to do, right? So basically, you're working, taking care of Sam's parents, and keeping their house in order?
Pretty much. Although, I really enjoy my job, so I really don't want to have to quit it. Especially since doing things around the house is just such a pain.
I see. Yeah, I bet taking care of Sam's father really can't be easy. But it has just been so long since I last heard from you. I was worried that something might have happened. Is everything okay?
Actually, I think I kind of need your help, Rachel.
My help? What do you mean by that? What do you need my help to do? Are you trying to tell me that something actually has happened?
I was wondering if you wouldn't mind bringing me some cold medicine to the house. I would really appreciate it. Maybe that and some Gatorade and some chicken soup or something like that.
Well, why do you need all of those things? Are you sick?
I am, actually. I have a fever of over 100 degrees, and I feel like I can hardly move at all. I've actually been stuck in bed like this for the past 3 days.
Wait, what? You've been like that for the past 3 days? Have you gone to see a doctor?
No, I haven't gone to see anyone about this.
But you've had a fever that high for this long, and you still haven't gone to see anyone? Why not?
It's not that I don't want to. I really do want to see a doctor. But I can't go.
I still don't get it. What do you mean that you can't go? What's keeping you from going?
Well, it's just that Sam and his mom told me that I should be focusing on getting better by myself. They told me that They didn't want to waste any money taking me to the doctors.
Hold on a second. You're telling me that Sam and his family are preventing you from going to see a doctor about this fever you have?
Yeah. Although now, those two are away on vacation by themselves, and I'm stuck here with Sam's dad.
Even though you've had a fever for so long, they're still making you take care of Sam's dad?
Yes, they are. But I'm just so exhausted. I really can hardly move at all, especially now. I thought they were going to take better care of me, but I feel like I'm just a servant.
That's just horrible. I'm so sorry to hear that, Lily. I thought that things were going well there. That's what Sam told me anyways.
I know, but from the moment we moved here, it's like Sam became a completely different person. Both him and his mom did complete 180s on me and turned into total jerks. They got so mean to me and also act so coldly. Also, they're always calling me names and trying to put me down. And I've been the only one doing anything to take care of Sam's dad and their house ever since I got there. In fact, it was actually Sam who forced me to go out and get a job. He had some connection with some friend of his town and made me start working there.
You're kidding me. You mean that the reason you're working through all of this is because you're being forced to?
I know it sounds crazy, but it really is true. I can't believe what my life has become.
And Sam never even said one word to me about this. In fact, he told me that you were working because it was something that you wanted to do.
Well, it's a lie. I hate being here. And Sam only ever pretends to be a good person when others are around, but I never wanted to work. And he's just making me be everything. All of the work that him and his mom don't want to do.
I see. Lily, I'm so sorry. I had no idea that any of this was happening at all.
It's okay. I didn't say anything to you. But I also wasn't even allowed to reach out to you sometimes. Anytime I even talked about reaching out to you, Sam would just glare at me, and I know that it would be no good.
I see. And the last time him and I talked, Sam even told me to stop trying and reach out to you as frequently. He told me that you were too busy to talk to me.
Well, it sounds to me like he just didn't want us to be in contact with each other. But that probably means that he knows that he's treating me poorly, and he just didn't want you to find out.
You really think that's it? I really didn't know what to think when I stopped hearing from you for so long.
Well, there's another reason for that too. Even when there were times when I could have reached out to you about this, I didn't, because I didn't want you to worry about me any more than you already were.
But I really do wish that you would have told me something about this, Lily. I think maybe it's time that you come back and live with us and our parents here. Your situation sounds just awful.
It really is difficult for me, I won't lie. I mean, I just have no free time and no money to do anything either. I don't even know how I would escape from here to make it back home in the first place.
What do you mean you don't have any money? Don't you have your own bank account?
I do, but Sam made me give him my bank info and then change my passwords, so I don't even have access to a single cent of my own money.
But what about the money that you get from your job?
Sam's mom takes all of the money that I earn and spends it to buy things for herself. Like I said, I'm working for some friend of Sam's family, so she knows when payday is, and she always manages to intercept my paycheck.
Well, that's just horrible. You're not their servant. You're their slave. I can't believe they're treating you like this. That's just horrible, Lily.
I know. It's so awful, and I really hate it. I never thought that things would have gone this way. But they were all just pretending to be nice to me. But now I just want to go home.
Well, don't worry. I'm going to bust you out of there. I promise. Just hang on a little longer.
Hey, Lily, are you there? Where the heck are you right now? I know that you don't have any work today. Don't you remember that you were supposed to come and pick my mom and I up from the airport? Are you off having fun by yourself or something? You really are a useless wife. Do you know that?
How dare you talk to my precious little sister that way? Just who do you think you are, huh?
Excuse me? How dare you talk to me like that? Is this even Lily? Who am I speaking to right now? Huh?
Are you stupid or something? Didn't I just say my sister? Who do you think it is, Sam? It's Rachel, your sister-in-law.
Wait a second. Is this really Rachel? What are you doing texting me on Lily's phone?
Because she told me all about the way that you and your horrible, awful mother have been treating her. She looked like a complete wreck when I went to go and get her. If anyone is terrible here, it's you, Sam.
What do you mean she looked like a wreck? What are you talking about?
Are you really going to try and play dumb about all of this?
I really have no idea what you're talking about at all. I swear.
Okay then, allow me to fill you in. A few days ago, I got some messages from Lily asking me for help. She told me that she had been sick with a really high fever for a few days, and that you and your mom refused to let her go and see a doctor. But I could tell from the moment I saw her that she was malnourished. Just what exactly were you doing to my poor little sister?
So you're telling me that you showed up to our house and stole my wife away?
How dare you talk about Lily as if she's just something that can be traded or stolen? I rescued my little sister from you and your family, and I brought her back home with me. And you're never going to get her back.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
It means that she is going to get a divorce from you and won't ever be going back there. You can take care of your father and the house by yourself. Because I am never going to let you hurt my sister again.
How dare you try and talk about our marriage? Just who do you think you are? I thought I told you to quit messing around with your sister's life.
And I almost believe that I should have listened to you. But you were never asking me to do that for Lily's sake.
Hold on a second. Where's my dad? I thought that Lily was supposed to be watching him. He's nowhere in the house. How could you do this to my dad?
I didn't do anything to your dad, but that's rich coming from you after the way you treated Lily. Anyways, if you must know, your dad is safe. Unlike you, he isn't a total crazy person. We talked to him, and he told us that he wanted to be checked into a retirement home.
And so you just took him there without saying anything to my mom or I at all? How dare you mess with my family like this? Don't you know that Lily is my wife? That means that she's with us now.
Can you please stop talking about my sister as if she is something that you own? She is a living person, and you can't control her. I know that you may have thought you could with your horrible bullying, but now it's time for her to get back at you.
Get back at us? Just what is that supposed to mean?
Oh, you'll find out soon enough.
Rachel, please. I'm so sorry about everything. I just want you to know that my mom and I realize how wrong that we were for treating Lily that way. Just please don't sue us. We won't be able to pay all of that if you do.
I told you that we were going to have our revenge soon. So just shut up and pay my sister.
There has to be some kind of mistake here. Surely you're not going to charge us this much, right?
If anything, that number is too low. Are you forgetting all the physical, mental, and financial abuse that you put my sister through?
Please, you have to forgive us. You have to drop the charges. This is just a big misunderstanding. Besides, who's going to look after my mom now?
Why are you asking me that question?
Well, because my mom is really starting to lose her mobility, and her retirement money isn't going to be enough to cover all the costs involved. And I certainly don't have the free time to give her the care that she needs. So please, just don't sue us for all that money.
Oh, please. Didn't you and your mom just enjoy a vacation together? And if you think that some sob story about how hard things are going to be for your family is going to change our minds, you've got another thing coming.
But I don't want to divorce your sister.
Why? Because then you won't have the money from her part-time job to spend on fancy trips, like the one that you took?
No, but it's just... Well, with my dad in the retirement home, if this lawsuit goes through, we'll have to sell our house to be able to keep him in there. But we'll be left penniless. Isn't that awful?
Yeah, that sounds like things are going to be really difficult. For the two of you.
Please, You can't do this. You can't steal my wife away from me and completely bankrupt my family.
You know, half the reason your dad wanted to be put into a home was that so he could get away from your mom and you. He knew that with my sister, he was going to need someone to care for him, but he didn't want it to be either of you.
Please. I'm so sorry. I never wanted any of this to happen at all. You have to forgive us.
And that is not going to happen. But if this is all that you came to talk to me about, then I think that you and I are done here. In the end, Sam and Lily were able to finalize their divorce, and Sam and his mother ended up paying Lily hundreds of thousands of dollars for what she endured. And after that, just like Sam said, his family had to sell their house to keep his father in the retirement home. No matter how much Sam and his mom begged him to come home, he refused. Now, Sam and his mother live in a tiny little apartment, and even his mom has had to start working again just to make ends meet. With Lily safe at home, our parents and I did our best to see that she was taken care of while she went through the divorce process and got back on her feet again. Now, she's found a new job which she loves, and she even moved away from my parents and into an apartment of her own. I know that she is still going through a lot mentally, but I think now she really understands the importance of being able to count on your family for help in times of need. And, as her big sister, I'm going to make sure that nothing horrible like this ever affects Lily or any of my family members ever again. You can count on that.
Hey, Amanda. How are things going for you tonight? You enjoying that dinner that you're at with the friend of yours that you hadn't seen in a long time?
Yes, it's been amazing. Her and I are just having an absolute blast. Actually, though, it's not just that one friend, though. We ended up getting 4 other people to come over. So in total, we ended up being 6 people, and we're all just having such a great time. So thanks so much for staying home and agreeing to watch the kid.
It's not a problem at all. I was happy to have a quiet night in with Nina.
And how is she? I'm guessing that she's probably asleep or something by now, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We ordered out for dinner, watched a movie together, and now she's fast asleep.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm so happy that you two are getting along together. It really warms my heart.
Well, it warms mine too. To get to spend so much quality time with my daughter like this, you know. By the way, do you have any idea how late this thing of yours is gonna go? I'm just curious about what time you think you'll be coming home.
Well, that's the thing. We were just wrapping up at dinner right now. But then someone suggested that we all go to a karaoke bar. And I didn't want to be the one person who wasn't going along with everyone, you know? So, is it okay with you if I stay out just a little later than I originally planned?
Yeah, it's no problem. I mean, if everyone is still down to go out, then it sounds like the night isn't quite over yet anyways.
Thank you so much, Mark. The thing is that I'm pretty much the only non-single person, you see?
Yeah, I get it. You'd be the only person going back. It's not a problem for me at all.
I knew that you'd understand. But just now that since everyone here is single, this night could end up being an all-nighter. And I think I might want to hang out with everyone for as long as I can.
So you really think that you're going to be out until this morning then?
Is that okay? I would really, really like to. Besides, it's not like Nina is breastfeeding anymore. So, there's not a real need for me to be home tonight, right? Besides, you also have tomorrow off of work, don't you?
Yeah, that is true. I do have no work tomorrow.
Then please, just this once can I stay out? I can't remember the last time I had this much fun.
Well, okay. I guess you're right, and I really shouldn't mind. But if you're going to be out all night, just please make sure that you're being safe, okay?
Of course. I promise that I'll be safe and that nothing bad is going to happen at all. But I really am sorry to be leaving you alone all night with the kid while I go out for the night.
Don't worry about it. You're always watching Nina, and I'm more than happy to do it.
Oh, Mark, you really are such a sweet guy, you know that? I'm really so happy that I married you. I mean, I never would have thought that I'd get to go out like this after I got married, and especially not after having a kid.
I know, but we got married precisely because we love and trust each other. We promised each other that even after we got married that we wouldn't try and control each other's lives.
I know. I remember making that vow with you, and I'm so grateful that we've been able to stick to it.
I know. Me too. Although, that being said, I do feel sometimes that you might be going out a little too much lately. So, just as long as you're not taking advantage of that promise that we made, that's what matters most to me.
Oh, don't worry. I promise that this is going to be the last time for a while, okay?
That's okay. We both work, and I know how stress can build up. Besides, you always did enjoy a night out even when we were dating. So I hope that you can understand when I say that maybe you could stand to just spend a little more time at home.
I know, you really are right about that. But if I spend too much time at home, I start to get really mad. And going out like this is a really good way for me to relieve some stress now and then.
Well then, that's good. I was hoping to hear something like that. Just make sure you don't drink too much on this all-nighter and be careful getting home, okay?
Hey Mark, is now a good time? I have something that I kind of want to talk to you about.
Oh? What's up, Amanda? What do you want to talk about?
Well, the thing is that I was thinking of going to stay with my parents for a little while.
You're going back to your hometown to visit your parents for a bit?
Well, I really would like to, yes. Although I kind of want to go and see them by myself. So would you mind taking care of Nina while I go and do this?
You mean you want to go and visit your parents in your hometown by yourself, so you want me to watch our child while you do that?
Yeah, I guess. That's basically what I'm asking. Thanks for summarizing.
But do you mind if I ask why you want to go alone? Did I do something wrong? Are you mad at me or something like that?
No, it isn't anything like that at all. The truth is that my parents have both been getting kind of sick and, well, they're actually both in the hospital at the moment.
Oh no, I had no idea about any of that. That's awful. I'm so sorry, Amanda.
It's okay, Mark. I mean, it's not okay. But I called them on the phone the other day, and I could just hear that they were getting worse from their voices.
Wow. I guess these things happen when you get older, though, huh?
That's right. And I guess I've just felt like I haven't been a very good daughter lately. I mean, I hardly ever go home to visit them, and the call was the first one in I don't know how many months. So, I guess I just want to be there for my parents now that I know they're not doing so well.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from completely. I mean, if it were my parents in that position, I'd do the same. But I get it. It's not easy making time for others once you're an adult, especially your parents.
I know, and especially since they both live out in the country and make their living from farming. Well, I just can't let things fall apart for them while they're in the hospital right now. I mean, farming is hard work, and they're already so old.
Well, I am sure that your parents would be thrilled to get to see you after such a long time of you being away from them.
I think so too, but I just wanted to make sure that this was okay with you before doing so.
I understand. But it is kind of tough for you to just leave Nina alone with me to watch over her. I mean, I still have to go to work, and things get really tough when I have to do everything by myself.
I get that, Mark. But these are my parents that we're talking about here, and they're really not doing well. I mean, what if something happened to both of them and I wasn't there? If I took Nina with me, then that would be just putting more on their plate and making more work for them. So please, can't you just do this for me this once?
Okay, alright, fine. Go to your parents, Amanda. It sounds like they really need you. I'll be sure to take care of Nina and the house while you're gone.
Thank you so much, Mark. I know that you have work and that you're very busy too.
I mean, it's more than that. It's that when it's only me, it's just more physically difficult to get all that I need to do done. But I guess if things get really bad, I can always go and ask my mom for help since she doesn't live that far away.
Yes. Thank you so much for this, Mark. You don't know how much this means to me. And please tell your mom thanks for all her help.
You got it. I'll be sure to tell her that. Tell your parents I hope they're doing well as well.
Got it. And the thing is that I don't quite know when I'll be getting back from this trip. But I think that it's going to be something like 2 weeks at the least. So prepare to take care of Nina and be on your own for the foreseeable future.
Amanda, that's a really, really long time for you to be away. Do you know that?
I know, and I'm really, really sorry about this, Mark. But the thing is that it's almost harvest season, and that's the busiest time of the year. I just don't think I'd be of actual use to my parents if I stayed for any shorter amount of time.
I see. Well, I guess in that case, it sounds like we have no choice, really. I guess I'll get ready to be solo for a while.
Thank you so much for understanding, Mark. You really are a sweet angel, and I'm so lucky to have you.
Amanda, are you there? Can you please just tell me when you're gonna come home? I mean, You've been away for almost a whole month now, and you've barely even talked to me while you've been gone.
Oh, Mark, I'm so sorry about that. The harvesting has just been so busy, and I've barely had a moment to myself.
And I guess I take it that means you're not going to be coming home anytime soon then?
Yeah, really, I'm sorry, but it's just not going to happen anytime soon, I don't think.
So you're saying there's still a bunch of work to do over there? Because I really would like you to come home soon. I'm really, really tired over here.
I understand that, Mark, but the thing is that my parents are much, much worse than I thought they were. And I think that if I wasn't here, then nothing would be getting done around the farm. So I need to hurry up and keep harvesting so that everything is ready for sale. I get that you're tired, but I'm out in the field every day trying to take care of business for my parents.
I guess you're right. I don't have it as bad as I think.
And once the harvest and selling is done, there's all the work that comes with preparing the fields for next year. There have been some days where I'm practically all night working on something for them. I've barely gotten any sleep these past few days.
So then I guess you really won't be able to come home anytime soon, huh?
I'm sorry, Mark. I know that this hasn't been easy for you at all.
I mean, I know that you have things really hard as well, but I'm just getting really worn out. I mean, I know that you want to be there for your parents, but it doesn't change how much work that puts on me. And even though I'm not doing farm work, I'm still working really hard.
I know, and I am really sorry, Mark. You've been doing so much with having to work and take care of Nina and yourself. I promise that I really am trying to come home as soon as I possibly can.
I get that you're probably just as tired as I am. Just take care of yourself over there, okay, Amanda? I'm sorry that I'm calling you back when you still have so much to do.
No, I really do get it. I know that you want me back, and I really am trying to go back, I promise.
But you have time to be there for your mom and dad. I understand. I really do think it's a great thing you're doing for your parents, you know. I mean, it really does sound like if it wasn't for you, their farm might be over as we know it. It's all in the harvest whether or not a farm is going to survive after all.
Oh, trust me, I am very familiar with that concept. But I'm just glad to be here. I mean, I used to be such a troublemaker when I was a little girl, and I really hope that I can get my parents to see me in a new light by doing this.
I am sure that your parents are very grateful and proud of you for what you're doing. But anyways, good luck dealing with the rest of the harvest. Also, I just want you to know that Nina really misses having you at home. But we both just hope that you're doing okay.
Mark, I'm so sorry for the radio silence. Can you believe that it's been 3 months since I left? It really doesn't feel like it at all to me. But anyways, I just wanted to let you know I'm on my way home now.
You know, I was already apprehensive enough about you being gone this long. But the least you could have done was call me.
I know. I really am sorry, but things just kept coming up.
Are you even really at your parents' house right now?
Of course I am. Just what do you think I've been doing these past months?
Well, I heard that your parents sold the farm and that there's not even anything there anymore. So, I don't know. What have you been doing?
Sold the farm? What are you talking about? Is that a joke or something?
It's not a joke. It's the truth. Your family's farm is gone and there's nothing left of it.
I don't understand. What are you talking about?
I mean that I actually went to your parents' house yesterday.
Wait, what? You went to my parents' house? I mean, you came here where I am and have been the past 3 months?
Well, I was just getting so worried when I didn't hear from you that I went to go and check on you myself. And when I got there, it was all gone. I asked some locals about what had happened and they said that it got swept away in some big flood that happened.
You're kidding me. So there's nothing left standing there at all?
Why don't you actually go to their house and see for yourself? Did you really not know there was a huge flood in your hometown?
But what about my parents? Are they okay?
They're okay. They evacuated in time and are perfectly safe. But they told me that they hadn't heard from you in a long, long time.
But I don't believe it.
You are such a liar, do you know that? You've been just horrible. You told me this whole time that you were doing this for your parents' sake. The whole reason I felt okay about you going away this long was because I thought you were going to take care of them. But you haven't even been talking to them. They had no idea what you were talking about when I told them what you had told me. In fact, they were speechless when I told them that I thought that they were with you for the past 3 months.
But, okay, wait. Just let me explain, okay? This is just a big misunderstanding.
Oh, sure. I'd love to hear what excuse you have for yourself. But why don't you come over to where your parents and I are first? I'm sure they'd love to see you.
Mark, I'm so sorry for lying to you. But you were telling the truth. I stopped in my hometown because I didn't believe what you were saying. But the house really was all gone.
Were you able to go and meet your parents as well? So sorry I had to leave early, but I just couldn't stand to see you.
Yes, I went to go and see them, and they were so disappointed in me. They even told me they were going to disinherit me. They said that they had already come to that decision before this, since I hardly even went to go and see them anyways.
Well, I'm sure that they were disappointed in you. I mean, you lied about where you were for 3 whole months. But if you don't tell me the truth right now, I'm gonna divorce you. I already want you out of the house.
Okay, you're right. The truth is that I actually did go on a trip, okay?
And just who did you go on a trip with? I care much more about that than where you went.
I was with a man. I took this trip with a man.
And this is a man that I know?
No, I don't think you know him. I actually met this guy in a bar about a year ago.
And? So what kind of trip was it? What kind of relationship do you have with this guy?
He's just a friend, I swear.
Amanda, I thought I told you that I wanted you to tell me the truth. Because I'm going to be looking into who this guy is. So this is your last chance to tell me the truth about who it is that you went on a trip with.
Okay, I'm sorry. He isn't just a friend, and it wasn't just a friendly vacation.
Then say it. Tell me that you cheated on me.
Okay, I admit it. I was cheating on you for the past 3 months.
I can't believe you. I mean, it's always bad enough that you went and had this affair. But for a whole quarter of a year?
I really am sorry, Mark. You have to believe me. We were in Hawaii, and every time it was almost time to go home, he asked if I would stay with him for longer, and well, it was just too good to pass up.
I should have known what you were up to when you were hardly even talking to me. But to think that you were cheating on me this whole time? I never even heard of this happening to someone else, you know? It's just ridiculous.
Mark, I'm so sorry. I'll say it as many times as I need to for you to believe me. But I should have never done this, especially not for 3 months. But it was just nice to be kid-free and well, I guess I just ended up thinking in island time.
Island time? Are you kidding me? Are you really trying to come up with excuses for what you've done? I really just don't even know what to say.
You're right. That was wrong of me. I shouldn't have said that. That was stupid. All I ever do is cause you pain. I'm so sorry, Mark. But I swear to you that this will never ever happen again.
Oh, you can go ahead and do it as many times as you want. See if I care. Because I am through with you. And any love that I still had for you ended when I drove up to your parents' empty farmland. But you can just go ahead and leave me. Just go and marry this guy since you want to be with him so badly.
Wait, no. Mark, you don't understand. This isn't the kind of guy that I want to marry. I never once thought of leaving you.
So now you're trying to tell me you don't want me to leave you for this?
Well, it's a bit more than that. The thing is that this guy is also married, you see? And the guy's wife comes from a really rich family. So I know that he would never leave his wife for me.
I see. So basically you're telling me that both of you were cheating on your spouses then. It sounds to me like you're both just horrible, awful people. But that's all the more reason to leave you. I never ever want to see you again.
Please, Mark, don't do this to me. I'm begging you. I mean, I told you everything that happened between us. You said that you wouldn't leave me if I told you the truth, remember?
I did say that, but I forgot to mention that if you tell me everything, I'll divorce you anyways.
Wait, what? So you tricked me? You were always going to leave me no matter what?
Oh, please. Do you think you're in any place to complain about being tricked after what you did to me? I knew that you were going out more even before this trip. But I guess it wasn't all just to see this guy, was it?
No, it isn't like that at all. There were really times when I was just going out with friends too. I swear, you have to believe me.
And what about the last time? The time you went to go see your friends and you all ended up drinking and going to karaoke. I want you to give me the names and the numbers of all the people that you were there with. You understand me? I just want to make sure that you really were out with who you said you were.
No, I'll tell you the truth. I was with the guy.
Well, I guess that I can guess exactly what you were doing when you were staying up all night with him. But to think that you had the gall to leave Nina with me and make me stay at home all by myself while you did this to me?
Please, Mark. I'm so sorry. What do you want from me? Do you want me to get down on my knees and beg you not to leave me? Because I'll do it if that's what it takes for you not to leave me.
If you think that's gonna make me stay with you, then you've got another thing coming. You only ever cared about yourself, and it's clear to me now that you never really cared about Nina or I. You pushed everything onto me, and you lied to me about what you were doing to justify it. You guilted me into thinking that you were doing backbreaking work for your family when you were in Hawaii. You barely talked to me for 3 whole months while you were away and pretended like we were both having it so hard. I thought we were going through this together, and now I realized that I was a fool to ever believe you. It wasn't long afterwards that Amanda and I finalized our divorce. Our lawyers discussed the terms of the divorce, and in the end, we didn't have to split our assets at all. I kept mine, and she kept hers. Although, I did make sure that I kept full custody of Nina. Although, because Amanda had spent so much of her own credit while in Hawaii hoping that her boyfriend would pay it back all to her, she found herself in quite a bit of debt after we broke up. I was able to find out who this man of hers was, and I made sure to tell his wife about what him and Amanda had been up to. I ended up suing him and Amanda for their affair and got a payout of $100,000. I heard that the guy's wife had also ended up suing the two of them, and that they were basically left with nothing by the end of it. Last I heard, the two of them fled town to avoid all the rumors flying around them, and I have never ever heard from Amanda since. I almost wanted to make her pay child support, but I chose instead just to keep her as far away from Nina as I could. But just because I try to keep Amanda out of Nina's life doesn't mean that I don't think Nina shouldn't have a relationship with her grandparents. Amanda's parents were so sorry about what their daughter put us through. They offered to help out in any way that they could, and I call on them when I need some assistance. In fact, Nina insisted on going to their house for the summer because she wants to be there to help them harvest at their new farm. So I guess it sounds like I'll be the one on my own for a few months this summer. Hey Rachel, are you there? I just heard that our grandpa had some kind of accident and he fell over. Is everything okay? What's going on with him? Do you have any idea?
Troy, what are you talking about? Yes, Grandpa did have a little health scare and collapsed. But that was about a month ago. Why are you just asking after him now?
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. But the thing is that my phone just stopped working.
You mean you haven't had a working phone for the past month? Do you not have money to buy a new one or something like that? Please don't tell me that you quit your job again, Troy.
No, nothing like that. I just forgot to pay my phone bill, so it stopped working because they stopped service. But I still have my work phone, so I can text whoever I want, no problem. It just took me a while to figure out how to get it to work the way I wanted it to.
And so that's why no one has been able to reach you by phone for this whole time?
Yeah, pretty much. So anyways, back to Grandpa. Is he doing okay? What was the situation like?
So you mean that you really were worried about Grandpa then?
Of course I was worried. That man practically raised us. Besides, I know you know that him and I have a bit of a history.
Well then, you should have tried harder to reach out to someone and let them know you were concerned. But anyways, Grandpa's out of the hospital now and he's back at home. Although, we are all just a bit worried if something like that ever happens again. I mean, he certainly isn't getting any younger, and as sad as it is, he just isn't as strong as he used to be. I've actually been staying with him on and off because I've been so nervous about leaving him alone.
You mean you went back to actually live with Grandpa for a little while?
Yeah, that's what I just said. After all, you and I are basically all the family that Grandpa has left now. And he's the one family that we have, besides each other.
Well, I'm just glad to hear that he was okay after his fall. I was really worried.
Well, if you're really that worried about him, why not go and pay him a visit at home?
I really don't think that he would want to see me at all. I mean, the whole reason I moved out of the house is because him and I were always fighting. Remember?
I know, but you can't really pretend that you didn't have any role in starting those fights too. I mean, are we really going to pretend like the last fight that you two had wasn't over you scamming someone out of money? Did you know that Grandpa had to pay them back so they wouldn't go after you? If you're really that worried about our grandpa's health, then I think you really owe it to him to visit him in the hospital.
But then, doesn't this mean that you do think that he'll actually get mad at me if I go back?
I would be surprised if he didn't get mad at you. Yes, Troy. But the fact of the matter is that he is really starting to get old, and I think that more than holding on to old grudges, Grandpa just wants to make things right with you. I know you don't want to leave things the way they are with him, right?
No, I really don't want to leave things as they are between him and I.
Actually, that reminds me that you and I have something to talk about later.
What do you mean? What do we need to discuss?
We need to talk about the fact that I really don't think that Grandpa should be living on his own at his age and in his state. But I'm working a job that wants me to be in the office every single day, and are very strict about it. Personally, I wish that I could go home and just help take care of Grandpa instead, but it just wouldn't work. I've suggested to him that he move into a retirement home or something like that, but he says he doesn't feel quite ready to take that step yet.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, his house is pretty big to be living in all by himself now that you mention it. I doubt that he can even manage to keep it all clean by himself, right?
Exactly. That's what has got me so worried. And so that's why I was thinking of going over there to visit with him soon. And I was wondering if you would want to come with me. I really think it would be good if you did.
Are you really sure that he wants to see me? I just don't know how to feel about this at all.
Well, why don't you at least try seeing him? If things go bad, then you don't have to do it again. I mean, the whole reason why you reached out to me in the first place is because you were worried, right? It's up to you, but I really do think it's high time that you settled your problems for Grandpa.
Okay. When I have some time off of work, I'll think about what I want to do.
Okay then. I won't say anything else about it in that case. The rest is all up to you, Troy. I just hope you make the right choice.
A few weeks later. Hey, Rachel. You aren't gonna believe it. I made up with Grandpa. Things are totally fine between us now.
Wait, what? You mean that you went to go and speak to him face to face?
Yeah, I did. And I told him how sorry I was for everything up until then. And then he said that he forgave me.
I see. Well, that is really, really good news, Troy. To be honest, I wasn't sure if he would ever go as far as forgiving you. But if that's what Grandpa wanted to do, then it's beyond me to say anything about it.
Well, I just want you to know that I really did just feel about the way that we left things. And when I did go to see Grandpa and I saw how frail and weak he had become, well, I just knew what I had to do then. I realized that I should have done what I did a long time ago. After all, he was the one who took us in and raised us after our parents died.
I know, and now that man is 80 years old. So if you really want to make things right with him, I think there is plenty for you to do.
Exactly. I was thinking the same thing. That's why I decided to move in with Grandpa. I want to make up for all the lost time we had before it's too late.
Wait a second, what? You mean that you're really going to move in with Grandpa? But what about your job? What are you going to do about that?
Well, actually, I'm working a job kind of similar to you, Rachel.
You mean that you're a freelancer? Well, what kind of work do you do then? Because I didn't know that.
Oh, I just do a bunch of business online. You know, normal stuff.
I figured that you do stuff for your job. It's what kind of stuff you do that I want to ask about.
I'm kind of like a temp, basically. People just send me odd jobs to do and I take care of them, and that's that.
And you're telling me that you make enough to eat on odd jobs?
I mean, it also helps that my wife also has her part-time job. Thanks to her, we can live just a bit more comfortable.
Hold on a second. Did you just say your wife? You're married?
Oh, oops. Did I let that slip just now? The truth is that we're not married, but we did go to the civil ceremony, so we are married on paper.
And so then you would be moving into Grandpa's house with your wife in this case?
That was the plan. Yeah.
And did you even talk to Grandpa at all about this when you went to go see him?
Yep. And he said it was fine. He didn't have any problem with me bringing my wife along.
I see. Well, I guess it would make watching him easier if there were more people around the house. But your wife is really okay with the two of you doing this as well? Like, she doesn't mind moving in with her grandpa?
No, not at all. We talked about it and she said it sounded like a great idea. She was actually really proud of me for doing this.
I see. Well, okay. This is kind of a lot of information to take in all at once, if I'm being honest.
No, I understand. I should have said something to you about the wedding. I'm sorry about that.
You really should have. I mean, you're my brother, and I haven't even met the woman that you're married to. I should go over and make myself known to her.
Well, you don't have to worry about it. It's too out of the way for you. Besides, I'm sure you're really busy with work, right?
But this is really, really important. Besides, if she's going to be looking after Grandpa, I think that I really should. Anyways, when were you all thinking of moving?
We were actually going to move around the end of the month.
Oh, great. Well, then I can come over and help you all pack and get ready, and tell your wife how grateful I am for her going along with this. Now, please tell me that you don't have any other huge life news to drop on me right now, okay?
You're right. I'm sorry. I guess it all kind of spilled out when I just wanted to tell you that I was going to be moving there.
That's okay. Anyways, I'll call Grandpa on the phone tomorrow and talk to him a little about this. And please let me know when you have a solid move-in date, okay?
Hey there, Rachel. It's been a while since we last talked. How have you been?
Oh, wow, Neil. I haven't heard from you in forever. How are things going with you?
Things are going all right. But I heard that you're living in New York these days. Is that true?
Yes, it is true.
I see. Well, do you ever go back home to visit your grandpa ever?
Of course I do. I actually was just there maybe last month to see him.
I see.
What do you mean? Why did you ask me that question, actually?
Well, it's just that I was leaving out earlier today walking my dog, and I thought that I saw your dad out there walking on the street. Called out to him, though, and he told me that he lived in the city now.
Wait, hold on. He really said that? But that doesn't make any sense. My brother is supposed to be living with him at his house.
Well, yeah, but it really didn't sound like your dad was joking around or anything like that. Not only that, but his clothes looked real shabby. Honestly, I thought he was a homeless person till I recognized him.
Did he really look that bad?
Yeah, it seemed like he had been out of the house for at least a few days by that point.
But when I called my brother to ask about how things were going, he said that Grandpa was doing great. Are you telling me that my brother actually just threw him out?
Wait, what? Your brother and your grandpa are talking again? I remember the last time that you and I chatted, you were telling me about how Troy ran away from the house after scamming someone.
Yes, and all of that really did happen. But recently, Troy went to go visit Grandpa, and I thought he had a change of heart. He told me that seeing Grandpa made him regret all that he'd done and made him want to do better, and I believed him.
Wow, if he really threw his own grandpa out of his house, that's cold. But anyways, I just want you to know that I took your grandpa in and I'm letting him rest at my house. Is that okay?
Did you really do that? Oh, Neil, I don't know what to say. That's so kind of you. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to try and get back to the city as soon as I can. Please let me know if anything happens to my grandpa.
That's okay. It's no problem at all. You just be careful coming back here, okay? I get wanting to come back quickly, but your safety has to come first. I mean, you won't be much good to anyone if you're taken out in a wreck and end up in the hospital or worse.
You're right. I'll try and be careful. And thank you so much for everything, Neil.
Hey there, Rachel. I was just wondering if you heard from Grandpa lately.
Grandpa? I don't think so. Why do you ask?
I see. So I guess that means you haven't really heard about anything going on at the house here?
Anything going on at the house? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What's supposed to be going on?
I'm talking about Grandpa and the house here. Do you really not know anything? I could really use your help with this.
I am sorry, but I really don't know what you're talking about. Besides, aren't you at home with Grandpa? Why do you think I would know any more than someone actually there?
Well, the thing is that I think the house has been sold and we're being kicked out. I was out running errands and I just got back to the house, and when I did, there was a sold sign across the front. Not only that, but all of my stuff and my wife's stuff were strewn all around the yard.
So it was just you and your wife's stuff. None of Grandpa's stuff was thrown out?
Aha! I knew it. I knew that you knew something about what was going on. Did you do this? Did you toss out our stuff like this?
The only person who did anything around here is you. So why don't you start by explaining what you did to Grandpa, huh? Because I heard that you kicked him out of his own home. How could you do that to the only family that we had left?
I didn't do anything. That old man got up and left the house himself.
Oh, please. You really think that I'm going to buy that, Troy? I know that you and your wife kicked him out on the streets.
It really isn't like that at all, Rachel. This is all just part of a plot that Grandpa came up with. I knew that he didn't really forgive me for what I did in the past.
And just what do you think this has to do at all with whether or not he's forgiven you?
Because he was setting me up. He lured my wife and I into moving in with him, and now he's left the house and is trying to leave us with nowhere to live too.
You must really think that I'm an idiot if you think I'm going to believe a word of this. You brought this on yourself.
What do you mean by that? You mean you're really going to take Grandpa's side over mine?
Let's just get something straight here. You have a lot of debt right now, don't you?
Of course not. You really think I would ever do that after my experiences when I was younger?
Of course I do. Because the thing is that you don't learn. In fact, I hired a PI to look into you, and I know for a fact that you're about $30,000 in debt. And I understand that about a third of that was borrowed from less than reputable sources.
Wait, when did you find all of this out?
Oh, just about 2 weeks ago, I'd say. I started looking into you as soon as I made sure Grandpa was okay. But now that I've done my homework, your actions are starting to make a lot more sense now.
Wait, no, Rachel, you really are getting this all wrong. I swear. It's true, I do have debt, but my situation is really, really dire. I don't have any money for myself. And the whole reason why I'm in so much debt now is because I'm trying to start my own business.
So then, where did you and your wife go out to today?
We just went out a little. Surely we're at least allowed to do that, right?
Not if the where the two of you went was a casino. And you've been there since early this morning. In fact, I know that you two have been going there almost every day for a while now. You don't even have a job, do you? You just spend all day throwing your money away at the slot machines. And this whole thing about you moving in with Grandpa was all just so that you could steal his house, wasn't it?
But we had no other choice. We were going to be evicted.
Well then, you shouldn't have taken out all of those loans in the first place. You really haven't changed at all. I can't believe that I ever trusted a word that you were saying. And here I thought you really did want to try and make things up with Grandpa.
Rachel, please. I really am sorry for everything. But Grandpa refused to give me a single cent. I told him about how much trouble I was in financially, and he told me to figure it out on my own.
And just what is wrong with telling you that, huh? Do you have any idea how much Grandpa's already stuck up for you in the past? But he isn't just a walking ATM for you to go when you need money, you know? You always act like this.
Oh, come on. You think I wanted things to end up like this? It's just that I'll have to pay off my loan soon, and people are waiting for me to do so. Scary people.
Well, this is a mess that you have gotten yourself in, and it is no one else's job but yours to fix it. I don't care what else you have going on in your life. You can't expect Grandpa to bail you out like this. In fact, Grandpa and I are going to cut you off and stop talking to you forever.
You aren't serious about that, right? Please. Don't you think it's just a little much? Can't I at least get my portion of Grandpa's will before he does that?
You really think that Grandpa has a place for you in his will anymore?
Of course he does. I'm his grandson. I have a right to something, right?
You really are delusional if you think you're getting anything from him. I mean, is this really how you think the world works, Troy?
I didn't think that I would end up in this much debt. You have no idea how much trouble I'll be in if I don't pay this all back.
If you borrow money from some shady people, then that is your fault and no one else's, Troy. I mean, do you think it's everyone else's around your job to clean up your messes for you? You are not going to get a single cent from Grandpa after what you've done to him. And you aren't going to get an ounce of pity from me.
So then, I'm really not going to get any money at all.
You're impossible. If that's all you're really interested in, then you really do deserve whatever comes your way. Now, neither Grandpa or I ever want to hear from you again. Do you understand me?
Wait, no, please. You can't just leave me like this. You have to help me. You're all that I have left, Rachel. Please, don't leave me like this. I'm begging you. You have no idea what's going to happen to me if I don't pay this.
After that, Troy and his wife picked up their belongings from the yard, packed as much as they could in their car, and drove off to find a new place to live. It was a few months later that the police found them and arrested them for their debt evasion. They were also arrested for their roles in underground businesses that they had taken up to try and pay back their shadier sources of credit. Troy tried to beg Grandpa and I for help, but we knew that he would just repeat this behavior over and over again, and so we both did nothing. I picked Grandpa up from Neil's house the night he told me he found my grandpa. We both moved into a large apartment in the city that fit us both. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to give enough support to my grandpa in his old age, but now that we live together, I feel much more at ease about him. And with the money he got from selling his house, we were able to hire a nursing service for while I was away at work. Now that I have Grandpa with me, I want to make sure that nothing like what Troy did to him ever happens again. I'm going to try and make my grandpa as comfortable as I can in his final years. After all, it's the least I can do to start making up for how my brother treated him.
Hey there, Aaron. I was just curious if you were done working for the day?
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I actually just finished work, so I guess it means I got off a bit earlier than I normally do. But what's up? Is there something you wanted to talk to me about?
Yes, actually, there is something I wanted to talk to you about. I just found out that our neighbor is going to be moving out of her house.
Oh, you mean that sweet old lady who lived next door to us? Do you know where she's going to? I wouldn't be surprised if she was moving into a retirement home or something like that.
Actually, she moved out to go and live with her son and his wife. Isn't that something? Apparently, he bought a large, family-sized home with enough room for her as well, so that's where she's off to.
Wow. Well, good for her. But a house like that probably wasn't cheap, I'd have to imagine.
Yes, but I was talking to her before she moved out. She told me that her son paid for everything. Isn't that so sweet of him?
You mean that her son bought a new house for them all? And with all his own money? That really is something, I have to admit.
Well, apparently his mom was just in need of someone to take care of her while she was at home. So it was just easier for them all to live together.
Oh, I see. So I guess that means she just must get along with her daughter-in-law then, right? Because I don't know why they would all move in together if they didn't enjoy each other's company.
Well, yes, I'd assume they all get along since they're going to live together.
Well, do you ever think about moving in with Chuck and his wife or something like that?
Oh no, I just don't think that would work out at all. If it was just Chuck, then it might work out, but I couldn't live with his wife.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say something like that. I couldn't really see that going all that well myself.
Exactly. And I'm sure that if we all did live together, it would just make things worse between his wife and I. But apparently with my neighbor, it was actually her daughter-in-law who came up with the whole plan for them to live together.
Oh, really? Well, I feel like you don't hear stories like that all too often, right?
Yes, but I imagine that it must mean that her daughter-in-law is a really amazing girl.
Well, if she offered to live with her mother-in-law, there must be something going on there.
I've actually met her once. I remember she came over with her husband, and she seemed like a really lovely young woman. She was so bright and social, and I think that Chuck's wife could learn a lot from her, to be honest.
Yeah, but Lydia's just so cool, don't you think?
I think that you're mixing up cool for apathetic, and I think there's a big difference. She would never ever get over herself to the point where she would want me to live with her and Chuck. She's nothing like my neighbor's daughter-in-law.
Mom, come on. I really don't think that we should be talking about Lydia like this, don't you think?
Well, why not? We're just having a frank little chat about the members of our family. Besides, it's not like she's ever going to hear any of this in the first place. It's just so sad that your brother had to end up with a woman like her.
I don't really think that Lydia is nearly as bad as you're making her out to be right now, Mom. In fact, I don't think it's really nice of you to be talking about her like this to me, where she won't hear any of this.
But I'm just telling the truth about her. You know that I'm right, don't you?
I think that Lydia is still finding her bearing in the family, and that maybe she just isn't quite ready to let her guard down yet.
Well, I wish she would just get over herself and accept that she's a part of this family now. I mean, it's not like we're doing anything to make her feel like she isn't welcome here. I just wish that she would just put a little bit more effort in trying to get us to like her more. You know, because I really think she has an attitude problem most days.
You really think that? I never really got that impression from her at all, actually.
Well, you don't know her like I do. You know, one time she actually told me to my face that she hates me. She told me that she never wanted anything to do with me.
Hold on a second, Mom. You're telling me that Lydia really said that to you? Because she doesn't really strike me as someone who is all that confrontational.
Well, that just proves that you really don't know her like I do. She is a cruel, cruel woman. I've tried my best to get along with her, but she never ever treats me with any respect, and she's always treating me like I'm her enemy or something.
I had no idea about any of this. I guess I understand a bit better now why you really don't like her.
Well, I'm just glad that you're starting to see things my way. But honestly, what kind of wife hates her husband's family? I've just never heard of someone acting in that way, you know?
Well, I guess there are those rare cases now and then, aren't there? Maybe Lydia is just one of those kinds of people.
Oh, I know very well the kind of person that she is, and it's clear to me that she isn't interested at all in trying to be friendly with me. Honestly, most of the time, I just try to leave her alone and avoid her as much as I can. Even if she doesn't see me as family, I just don't care at this point.
Well, I'm really sorry that you feel that way about her, Mom. But I guess there's no point in trying to force a friendship where you just can't see it working at all.
Well, I'm not trying to force anything. The fact of the matter is that she has never once been friendly to me at all. And I'm sure that if I even tried to say anything about this to her, that she would hate me even more. You'd be best off avoiding her too.
Yeah, sure thing, Mom. I mean, if what you told me here is really true, that maybe you are right about that after all. Hey there, Mom. I just wanted to double check that the reservations that you made were for 1 this afternoon, right? Because I arrived just a little early, but only so that I could do some shopping near the restaurant.
Got it. And just please try not to be late for our reservation, okay? I mean, everyone is going to be there, and it wouldn't look good if you weren't there on time.
Yeah, no problem. I'll be sure and try to get there a little early so there's nothing to worry about. Besides, I wouldn't want to be late anyways. I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody.
I know! I can't even remember the last time that we were able to arrange a family reunion this big. I'm also really looking forward to getting to see everyone there. It's been far too long.
I know what you mean. It'll be nice getting to have a really big family meal.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. It's going to be so fun with everyone there.
So then, nobody has called saying that they aren't going to be able to make it or anything like that? It would really stink if anyone had to miss this.
Oh yes, thank you for asking me actually. Lydia is not going to be there today.
Wait, what? She isn't? But I thought that you said everyone was going to be there.
Oh yes, I told her that everyone was going to be there and that she should do her best to show up as well. But she was just her usual cold, frigid self. She told me that she didn't care who was going to be there. She wasn't going to go.
Oh, come on now. That is just ridiculous. She really can't even bother to show up at a family reunion like this? I had no idea that she disliked us all that much. I just don't even know what to say to that.
I know. I really did hope that she would swallow her pride and join us, but she clearly had other plans. I think I may just stop trying to invite her out from now on. I mean, what's the point if she's always going to say no? I would think that as her mother-in-law, she would have at least a little bit of deference to me, but I guess I should just quit holding out hope for her.
I guess that might actually be best, huh? I mean, the way you make it sound, I just can't see this getting any better at all.
I really am sick of her attitude. I really can't understand why your brother ended up with a woman like her. Do you think she just took advantage of him and pushed him into this? We know how much of a pushover your brother can be.
Well, yeah, he can be that way at times, but I really don't think it was that.
Well then, I guess he must only be attracted to her for her looks then.
I really don't know about that. I mean, it isn't like Chuck hasn't dated really pretty people in the past. Besides, compared to some of his exes, Lydia isn't, strictly speaking, the most attractive of them all.
But now they're married and that's the problem. I really just wish that the two of them would get a divorce and end it all already.
Mom, come on now. You can't be like that. I really don't like when you talk about Lydia like this. I get that you don't like her at all, but I just don't think that we need to be saying these kinds of things to each other about her.
But aren't you worried at all? I mean, this is your brother's wife, for crying out loud.
Yes, I realize that, Mom. I just wonder if she has a reason for why she seems to dislike us so much. Good morning, Lydia. I heard this from my mom, but I just wanted to confirm that it was true. Are you really not going to be coming to the family reunion today?
Hello, Aaron. Yes, I'm afraid it's true. I'm not going to make it to that. I'm going to stay home instead.
But if you're just going to be home all day, then you should definitely come and join us. I mean, it really is rare that we get so much family in one setting, you know? And we made reservations at a really nice place.
I understand, but I'm afraid that I just can't go. After all, that's a reunion for your family.
But that's exactly why I'm inviting you. Look, Lydia, I understand that for some reason you really dislike my family, but I think that if you gave us a shot, you'd see that we're not all so bad. We would all love to have you there with us.
Do you mean it? You mean it's really okay if I go there with you all?
Of course it's okay. You know that you don't need to hold back or try to be reserved when it comes to my family, right?
I know, but it's just that, well, I know how much your mom hates me. She tells me all of the time.
And tell me, was my mom the one who told you that you shouldn't come in the first place?
Yes, she was actually.
Because that isn't what I heard. My mom told me that she was the one that invited you, but that you turned her down.
But that isn't what happened. If she invited me, I would have loved to go. But instead, she reached out to tell me that this was happening, and then said that I better not be there.
And does my brother Chuck know about all of this that's going on between you and our mom?
No. I told Chuck that I was feeling really sick, and that I wouldn't be able to make it. Your mom told me that I shouldn't tell him the truth. And then, she even told me that you didn't want me there either.
She said that about me? Really? But I never said anything like that to her at all. I mean, I'm the one that's reaching out to invite you right now.
I know, but anytime I talk to your mom, she always tells me about how much you hate me. And she always going on about how you just wish that Chuck and I would break up already.
But I've never said any of those things, ever. I swear. I mean, I've never even thought about those things. You have to believe me.
You mean it? Because I thought that Chuck's whole family hated me.
That's what I'm always hearing from your mom anyways. Well, I have no idea why on earth my mom is telling you those sorts of things. And I don't think that anyone in my family hates you, Lydia. In fact, I've always wanted to try and get to know you better.
Really? Oh my gosh. I don't know what to say to that. This is such a relief to hear. Ever since I married Chuck, I've been so nervous to screw things up with your family. I was sure that nobody likes me.
Lydia, I'm so sorry. I had no idea that you were so nervous about this.
Well, it's true. I had no idea why you all disliked me, and it just made me so anxious.
Well, I am sure that no one in my family hates you. But did my mom really tell you that they do?
She did, yeah. Although, I think she was just trying to get your brother and I to divorce each other. But then, I thought that if I did that your brother hate me, and so I just couldn't leave him.
I understand, and I am so sorry that my mom has been putting you through all of this. But it seems to me that this was all just one big mistake. Or rather, one big plot all orchestrated by my mom. Anytime I mentioned wanting to get to know you better, she was already with something negative to say about you.
But I really try my best to keep your mom happy and do whatever she says.
I'm sure that you do, Lydia. I thought this whole thing was strange from the start, you know. I knew that you weren't the kind of person my mom was saying that you were.
I think if anything, I just don't have the guts to stand up to someone like your mom. I think that's why she knows that she can get away with treating me like this.
Well, you can just leave my mom to me. I'm going to set all of this straight.
What do you mean? What are you going to do?
I mean that I want you to know that you can come to this family reunion with nothing to worry about. Hey, Mom. I just wanted to let you know there's been a change of plans. Lydia's going to come to the family reunion, but you're not.
Excuse me, just what in the world are you talking about? Where is this coming from all of a sudden?
It's coming from the fact that you lied to me, Mom. You told Lydia not to come to the reunion, didn't you?
Of course I didn't say anything like that to her. She told me she would rather die than come.
That isn't true, Mom. I know that you've been bullying Lydia and telling her to keep the truth from Chuck. You even told her that the rest of the family hated her to try and scare her off.
You don't understand. She really is a horrible person. I had to do something to get rid of her.
The only horrible person here is you, Mom. And the only person in our entire family who has this much hate for her is you as well.
But I mean, please, don't you get how bad she is for Chuck? Besides, she's a complete basket case. I can't introduce her to anyone without being completely embarrassed by her.
You're the embarrassment, Mom. I can't believe that you would do something like this.
How can you say that to your own mother? What is the matter with you?
I mean that you've been acting like a child, spreading rumors, speaking for people when you've got no right. You've just been horrible.
And that's why I'm not allowed to be at the family reunion? That's just ridiculous.
If you come, I am going to haul you out of the restaurant myself, Mom. I am dead serious about that. In fact, everyone would be just fine if I did that.
What are you talking about? You really think that our entire family would choose Lydia over me?
We just wouldn't be able to enjoy ourselves with you around. But you can take that time to think about what you've done instead. And we're done. Everyone just said goodbye to each other in front of the restaurant.
You have got some nerve treating your own mother like this. Although I doubt the evening could have gone that well without me there, I'm sure everyone was talking about how they wished that I was there.
No, actually, I think we all realized we were free to really enjoy ourselves without you around. And everyone was a huge fan of Lydia.
No, that can't be. That's impossible.
But it is true. Everyone was so happy that you weren't there and that Lydia was. So I guess the only person who hates Lydia really is just you, Mom.
But that can't be. Why can't they all see what I see? This isn't fair. You've tricked them all into liking this horrible woman.
Oh, Mom, can you just give it a rest already? Don't you realize that it's over? You're not going to convince anyone.
I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I'm just telling the truth. I just want everyone but Lydia to be happy.
Well, I think that right there is exactly the problem, Mom. This isn't the first time that you spread rumors about people, and the whole family knows about what a gossip you are. You're always trying to talk about someone else to some relative when you don't think the person you're talking about is listening.
I never ever do anything like that. What are you talking about?
Of course you do, Mom. That's why you make everyone so nervous when we were able to have these kinds of reunions. Nobody wants to say anything that will make its way to you and then get twisted around into some horrible exaggeration. That's why everyone liked Lydia, because she's so sincere.
But what about Chuck? Surely Chuck had to be bothered by my not being there, right?
No, actually. Chuck seemed the happiest of all that you weren't there. In fact, He had no idea that you were treating his wife so horribly, but now he does. And when he found out, man, did he get mad. He said that he was going to cut you off and never talk to you again.
But I wasn't doing any kind of bullying at all.
Well then, what do you call the way that you were treating Lydia?
I was just trying to train her into being a good daughter-in-law, that's all. Someone needed to teach her some manners.
Oh, I think the only person who needs a lesson in manners around here is you, Mom. You knew that you could just manipulate her into doing whatever you wanted because she wasn't strong enough to stand up for herself.
I don't get it. Why don't you believe what I'm trying to tell you? Why are you letting her trick you like this?
Because I heard all about what you've been doing to her from Lydia herself. And I don't care what you call it. It sounds like mental abuse to me.
I don't believe this. How is everyone turning against me for this stupid nobody? You're really going to choose Lydia over me?
That's right. Everyone is. Nobody is on your side, do you understand? Don't ever show up at another family reunion again.
No, you can't do this to me. You can't just kick me out of the family like this. I'm not going to let that horrible girl take my place.
Mom, you have no idea what's going on here. Nobody is taking your place in the family. Nobody is on your side because of the terrible things that you've done, and that's it. This has nothing to do with Lydia, besides the fact that you were treating her so awfully.
So you're telling me that I deserve all of this then?
I mean, yeah, basically. Don't you even realize just how much you've disappointed Chuck and I? Neither of us want anything to do with you ever again, but only because of the things that you had done to Lydia. This has nothing to do with anything that Lydia has done, and it has everything to do with you.
Please, you can't do this to me. Don't leave me all by myself. What am I supposed to do when I get older, huh? What am I supposed to do if my own children don't even want to take care of me?
I don't care, Mom. Whatever you do is up to you, and you'll have to figure it out for yourself.
But, I mean, please, I understand what I did was wrong, okay? Please, tell Lydia that I'm sorry for everything and that I realize I should never have treated her that way and that it will never happen again.
Oh, please, Mom. Do you really think that anyone is going to buy that? You really need to try and take a more objective look at yourself. That's the only way that you're going to understand why everyone is so upset with you. But I doubt you even really understand what's going on.
Of course I do. This is happening because I was being mean to Lydia, right?
There you go. You really don't. Yes, it's about what you were doing to Lydia. But it is also about the fact that you used me and the family to try and make Lydia feel unwelcome. You told her that we all hated her, and that's why she felt so left out from the family. You prevented her from connecting to anyone and were her only source of information about us.
But, I mean, you're really not going to forgive me at all?
Of course I'm not going to forgive you. Nobody is. You've taken things way too far, and I just can't stand to even think about you any longer.
Please, Erin, it doesn't have to be like this.
And just how is it going to be if I do forgive you? Are you going to beg Lydia for forgiveness too?
If I do that and she says she will, then will that fix everything? Can I go to family reunions again?
There you go. You admit that you'd only apologize to Lydia if it meant that you got something out of it too. And that is precisely why no one is going to ever forgive you for this. Don't ever mess with my real family again. After that, my mom tried her best to reach out to Lydia and apologize to her. But Chuck and Lydia refused to accept her apology. After that, Mom was never invited to another family reunion again. Apparently, Mom tried to get up to her old tricks by talking to relatives one-on-one about how unfair she was being treated. But they all agreed that that was happening was her fault, and nobody took her side. In the end, she was ignored by everyone. I haven't heard from her ever since I blocked her and everything, and I plan to keep it that way. As for Lydia, with my mom out of the picture, she was able to come much more out of her shell. She attended every single family reunion after that, and became a huge hit at every single one. We all agreed that it was much nicer to have Lydia around than my mom. I just hope that now Lydia knows she has people who are willing to stick up for her and whom she can trust. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.